All right, I'm going to tell you the story about how I almost got kidnapped when I was a kid, and this is a true story, for real. So I was leaving my house. I was probably 12, 13 years old, somewhere around there, you can imagine. And I was leaving my house to go to swim practice. It was summertime, and I was going to ride my bike to swim practice. To get to swim practice, I had to leave my house, go down a long road, probably about a mile, and then cut through a trail. The neighborhood was called Black Horse Run, and we actually had horse trails. There were also like walking or bike trails going all through the neighborhood. And you had to take one of these trails over a creek to get to the clubhouse where the swimming pool, the tennis courts were, and I was going to swim practice. But right when I got to the bottom of my hill, the bottom of my street, I was not very far away from my driveway at all, leaving my house. A truck pulled up, and I was at the bottom of the street, and it pulled up this way and then pulled in really fast right beside me, like he saw me and then just stopped. I just got that feeling. It didn't seem like he stopped in a hurry. And this was, early 90s, and I just remember it was like a half-ton tan pickup truck, and the dude straight up looked like Hank Williams Jr. He had like the big old cowboy hat, this all folded weird, big old black beard, younger than I am now actually, big black burly big beard, dark like aviator type sunglasses on, and he rolled down his window, or maybe it was already rolled down, maybe he rolled down a little bit, and he said, "Hey boy, come here, I gotta ask you something." And I was smart enough to know that I shouldn't just be talking to strangers, so I just kind of turned my head the other way. And as I'm turning my head the other way, I see that pissed him off because I didn't acknowledge him. I see him reach over to pull up his lock and grabbing his handle like he's gonna run at me. So I take off on my bike and start pedaling as fast as I can towards swim practice, assuming that's the end of it, I guess. But this guy just wheels around and is following me now as I'm pedaling down the road, and he's getting faster, and it seems like he wants to run me over. And I remember this very clearly, they used to put down gravel. It was our neighborhood was paved, but they used to put down gravel for some reason. And they had recently done that. And I didn't know what to do, so I thought this guy was going to run me over, so I just turned in the next driveway. And I remember my back pedal slipping on that gravel. And I almost fell right there in the road, and he would just collected me, I guess. I don't know what would have happened. But I remember turning, my back pedal sliding on the gravel and catching at the last moment, and then just pedaling as fast as I could up the driveway. So I pedaled up the driveway, and this was a house I went to school with. He was in the same grade as me. His name was Lewis, and I knew him. We used to play together when we were younger. I knew the house. So I threw down my bike and ran around to the back of the house, and there was a sliding glass door. And I remember just banging on the sliding glass door, and no one came. And I was so scared, so I crept back around the house and looked, and the dude was parked at the bottom of the driveway, right off to the side at the bottom. That damn truck was down there. So I ran back to the sliding glass window, and I started banging on it again. And finally, Lewis's younger brother, who's a few years younger than us, and he probably shouldn't have been home alone at the time. I don't know. This is 80s going into the 90s. Whatever. It's cool. What do they call them? Lock key kids. Anyways, he comes to the door finally, and I run inside, slam the door shut, and I tell him I'm being followed, and this guy's trying to get me. And I pick up the phone, and I remember dialing the rotary 911, and I have the one, and I'm about to call 911, and I just hang up. Because I don't know, is this really happening? I'm a kid, am I freaking out? But this was definitely happening, but I was just second guessing myself. I think about calling my parents. And the thing is, I had just done like 2 rights, and up through the woods was actually my house. There was a trail. So I could have, just ditched my bike and ran up the trail to my actual house. But being a dumb kid, I just second-guessed myself out of everything. I was like, well, if I can't leave my bike, which is stupid. Who cares about my bike? We could have gotten it later. But for whatever reason, I psych myself out and go look around the house, and the truck's gone. So I say, oh well, I guess I'll just try to go to swim practice. And so I hop on my bike and I just hightail it to swim practice. I don't see him. There's no sign of him. When I get to swim practice, there's like a real close family friend of mine, the Dickersons, and I see Mrs. Dickerson and my friends, and I just start bawling, crying, and tell them what happened. And they call the sheriffs. They send a couple sheriffs out. I start swim practice. They want to try to normalize it, make me not freak out. So I start swim practice. After a little while, sheriffs show up. They ask me some questions, about the guy. They go take off trying to find this make and model and dude, and nothing ever happens that I ever hear back. So that was horrifying. And the worst part about it, really, I got off lucky. All the kids that, get taken or victimized, worse than that, I feel really horrible for them. I was lucky. The worst part about it really is what happened after that, or what maybe happened before that with some other kid. What happened to that guy? Who is he? Did he die? Is he still out there victimizing people? Did he get really mad that day and go get some other kid? Which makes me feel horrible. Just all these questions. And then for years after that, years. My parents still let me do, they knew it happened, but I would still ride my bike everywhere and play outside, be unsupervised, for playing with my friends. But if I was riding my bike and I heard like a car come up behind me, just hearing it, a lot of times I would just look over my shoulder, make sure it wasn't that damn tan truck for a long time. And the wave would pass over me. Oh, it's not that truck, it's fine, But yeah, that's my story from probably 1993, 4. Don't remember exactly. Maybe 92. Anyways, see you later.